Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual cost for $5,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 77-year-old male. Now, first thing I recommend is go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com. And on just about every page, we have these free quoters right here. So you can actually just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. And you select the coverage amount, enter your birthday in, the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page where it's going to show you the top insurance companies that have the lowest pricing. And what this will do for you is it'll allow you to compare to all the different insurance companies, especially those ones you see on TV and magazines that advertise these ridiculously low rates. And when you call them up, it's never ridiculously low. They always try to upsell you, or, you know, their plans are like 200% more expensive than other plans, and they've got 2-year waiting periods. So we can help you avoid all that and be a smart consumer. You can also call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. Now, the first thing you should probably ask yourself as a 77-year-old male is $5,000 going to be enough for your final expense needs? And typically the final expense would be either cremation or burial. Now, if you're going to get cremated, the average cost of a cremation in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you're going to have some sort of ceremony, that cost is probably going to be around $3,500 to $4,500. So typically, for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would probably recommend $5,000 to $7,000 worth of coverage. And you notice that's more than the cost of a cremation right now, but you're age 77, and you're probably hoping too that you'll make it to like 87. So we just want to make sure that there's a little extra coverage there, just in case you live a long time. We don't want inflation to increase pricing over what your coverage amount is. So yeah, that $5,000 to $7,000 works pretty good because it takes care of future-proofing the plan. But also, if you do die a little sooner, there's money left over, maybe to take care of some other miscellaneous expenses you hadn't been able to maybe pay off yet, possibly, or there might be medical bills or something like that. And if you're going to have that cremation and have a ceremony, then we would typically recommend maybe $7,000 to $10,000. But bottom line, if you're on a fixed or limited income and kind of price sensitive, $5,000 is going to be great for you. And it's, boy, I tell you what, as opposed to not having any insurance, boy, it's a really terrific alternative. Now, one thing we don't recommend is like going crazy on this insurance. A lot of times people will say, hey, you know, I want to get like $25,000, $30,000, $40,000. I want to leave money behind for my kids. And really at age 77, we have to have an honest conversation with people and say, well, you probably should have taken care of that before age 77. And the reason is most of the people we work with, again, are on a fixed or limited income. And we really want to be respectful of their budgets, find something that fits. And not only that fits today, but that fits for a lifetime. We don't want you to have to drop this policy later because it gets too expensive. So just keep that in mind. If you do have more income and you want to get more insurance, yeah, we can certainly help you out with that. But just come into it with realistic expectations. We find that's the best policy. Now, if you're going to be buried, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. So if you walk into a funeral home with a $10,000 check, chances are they're going to get it done for you. And chances are it's not going to be very fancy, right? That's about what it costs these days. But it's hard to imagine that if you walk into a funeral home with $10,000, they would say no and let you walk out the door down to one of their competitors and lose that money. So just understand $10,000 is kind of on the borderline. Now, this video is about $5,000, so that would not be enough for a burial unless you are adding coverage to an existing policy. So a lot of times we're helping people, maybe they have a $5,000 or $10,000 policy they got before, and they now understand that that's probably not enough, and they just want to get a little bit more coverage. And we can help them add $5,000 worth of coverage, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, whatever it would be. But that just works terrific, and that just takes care of all their future needs. So So one thing we really recommend is getting first day coverage or benefits. We do not recommend those plans with 2-year waiting periods. Yeah, do not get a 2-year waiting period plan. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But what first day coverage means is that, let's say hypothetically your policy was approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to pay out that death benefit, 5,000, 10,000, 15, 20, whatever it would be, they would have to pay it out. That's exactly what you want. Now, a lot of people would say, I really do like that first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health and I'm kind of worried I won't qualify. To which we say, hey, that's our problem, not your problem. And the reason we say that is from an insurance perspective. We work with many different insurance companies and they all have different health questions and they all have different underwriting. So right now we're experiencing right around a 90 to 95% approval rate for first day coverage or benefits. The only reason we wouldn't be able to get you qualified for first day coverage is if you had a very significant health issue going on, like maybe you were diagnosed with a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis or in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd probably refer you out to a different company. The other thing that happens, seems like every week, is somebody calls us up and says, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have insurance and we don't have any money. The body's down at the funeral home and the funeral home director's not going to do anything without a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so that we can get a check in our hand to get money to the funeral home director. And we have to let them know there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to issue a policy on a dead person. That's just the way it works. And it's really terrible and tragic that this person died and did not have anything in place. They knew they were going to die. They were probably going to get this insurance at some point and just put it off, delay. And then they went and died. And now their family has to figure out a way to pay for this. And typically what ends up happening is they end up putting it on a credit card, around 26% interest rate, and they're paying it off over years. And what a terrible legacy to leave behind, to kind of just cause your family to think that you really didn't care about them enough to actually get this taken care of in advance. And now they've got to pay this off for many years. And what a terrible legacy to leave behind. And just every time your name comes up, people are going to think that, yeah, we're still paying on this for Uncle Bob, whatever it would be. So don't be that person. This insurance is affordable. You can do it. If you can't afford as much as you want, just get what you can afford. We can always help you add more coverage later. Now, let's talk about 2-year waiting periods. We don't recommend those at all. Colonial Penn, probably one of the better known companies. I think it's probably just because they advertise on TV. It seems like every 7 minutes or so. But their $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period plan. You maybe didn't know that, but yeah, $9.95. So there's other companies out there that have 2-year waiting period plans. Mutual of Omaha, United of Omaha, their plan, and AIG, Gerber, and there's just a slew of other ones out there. And some of these companies have done an amazing job convincing the American public that the only thing you qualify for after age 50 is a 2-year waiting period. And to which we go, I don't believe such nonsense, because we get people approved for first day coverage all day long. Yeah. Now, our 77-year-old male, probably watching that Colonial Penn commercial, thinking he's outsmarted the insurance company because he lived to 77, hadn't got this insurance. Now he's going to go get himself some $9.95 insurance. And he's probably got just visions of getting $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000, possibly even $50,000 for only $9.95. So he calls up Colonial Penn, talks with an agent, or goes on their website like we've done for you here, and he finds out that one unit of coverage here, $9.95, right here, $9.95 for a 77-year-old male is only going to pay out $493. Holy guacamole. That is nothing, right? I mean, that won't pay for a cremation. I don't know what that's going to pay for. Maybe flowers. I don't know. But, $9.95, that's certainly $9.95 and $493. That's not, oof. Anyway, a lot of people would say that there's companies out there that offer kind of these low teaser rates that, oh my gosh, that's so good, and then you call up and they say that, once you call up and you find out how little that coverage is, then they say you're going to get upsold. And we're not saying that's the case with Colonial Penn. You may want to make that determination yourself, but yeah, $9.95 for $493. That's not going to do much. So yeah, let's try to find out what we can get, $5,000 worth and see what that would cost. So we know that, it's $493 per unit. So I'm guessing we're going to be like 10 or 11 units here. There we go. 10 units is $4,930. That's as close as we're getting to $5,000 because Colonial Penn does not sell by insurance coverage amount. They sell by units. And that's why you always end up with these really wackadoodle numbers like 4930. Every other insurance company, I think every other insurance company for the most part, you actually get pricing based off coverage amount. So $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Not Colonial Penn. And the reason they do that, I am fairly confident, is so that they can advertise a $9.95 rate to get your attention, to get you call in. And, like I said, some people would say you're probably going to get upsold. We have no opinion on that, but you be the judge. So anyway, go find out what $5,000 worth of coverage would cost if it's first day coverage. So we've got $5,000 here, and for let's see, we're going to be a male here, and then age 77. We're going to click get quote down here. Come on, there we go. Click quote, and again, this is $100 basically for not even $5,000. And look at what we can do here. We can do the same. Show you up here, the same $5,000 is going to be around $57, $58. So that is roughly $40. Yeah, 42. I'm just going to round it to $40. Colonial Penn's going to be roughly $40 more a month. So that's, if we look at that per year, that's $480 more a year. If our 77-year-old male lives to age 87, we'll have overpaid, again, 4 times 12 is 48. We'll have overpaid $4,800 on a $5,000 policy. Tell me, in what universe does that make sense to overpay? And with Colonial Penn, they will allow you to overpay on that policy for the rest of your life. Yeah, and they'll also stick you with that 2-year waiting period, which at age 77 years old, we don't recommend 2-year waiting periods. Each year is a gift once we get up into our late 70s. So yeah, we just don't recommend that. Why wouldn't you want first day coverage and lower pricing? We can really help you save money. You just got to be a smart consumer, and we can help you be a smart consumer. So again, we're around $60. Let's look at some other ones here. 60. Let's keep going. And you'll be able to see all these different insurance companies. So like Lincoln Heritage, here's one, 76. Now, Lincoln Heritage has got a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 different funeral homes and get the lowest pricing, maybe do a couple other things, but they don't do it for free. They don't do it for free. It costs. They've got higher premiums. I mean, this is first day coverage, which is good, but it's got higher premiums, which is not good. So that's 76 minus 58. So that's roughly $18 a month, and times 12 months, it's going to be roughly around $216 more a year. If you live 10 years longer, you're going to overpay around $2,160. So why would you get into a plan that automatically is going to cost you over $2,000 more and stick you with the 2-year waiting period? We do not understand why people would do that. So yeah, we can help you be a smart and educated shopper on this. We can help you save a lot of money. And just go to our website, funeralfunds.com. We've got a special quarter for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. And we've got a special quarter there where you can get the lowest rates and the most amount of coverage. And if you are looking to get a policy and it's a brand new policy or just want information, we can help you out with that. If you have an existing policy and you want to price shop it, we'd love to help you out with that. And if you just want to add coverage to an existing policy, we can help you out with that. But we can't wait to help you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. And until that day comes when we get to talk with you and help you out with this, you take care, you stay safe, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.